the best surprise was, so he hired a steel drum band, because it was like kind of like a vacation themed party, because like we love
Right.
like beachy vacations. So there was a steel drum band, and
Too loud.
too loud.
Too loud. And I didn't realize it in time. I was like, they started and it was like, wow, this is what having a band is.
Like we
And I
were
just
shouting to
accepted-
speak to people, and we were outside on the lawn, and so we were shouting. It was like we were at like a concert, and you're feet away from the speaker.
You're killing me. I was so miserable. Every conversation I was in, I was just thinking like, they're killing me. My ears are bleeding. And I was the only one that had the power to do anything about it, but I kept getting drawn into conversations. It's just like, maybe they'll adjust it. They didn't.
Wow.
This guy was clanking on this steel drum. Like,
For an hour?
He was rearing back.
4 hours?
And I can't
4 hours?
3 hours. But he was off a lot of the time. It was like, every once in a while you'd hear like a steel drum solo and it'd be like, like out of tune and way too loud. And I'm like, I am dying inside. I hired this guy. Like, I'm like, babe, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. So, oh my God, it gets worse. So I went up and I finally, after an hour and a half, I was like, can you turn the volume down quite a bit? I'd gotten so mad at that point. It was like, quite a bit. Yeah. And so he did. And then they were still too loud. And the steel drum guy did not get the memo. So he was coming out of the sound mix even louder.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went up and said, another 50% lower, please.
Wow.
And so he did, and I was like, and can you make sure that he gets the memo? And so he went and gave him the memo, and the guy was so mad. He reacted very strangely to the note and stormed off.
Oh my God.
And then can I guess that you had to take over steel drums for the rest of the party?
The thing is, I could have done just as good.
Wow.
No, so it gets worse. So at the end of the night, oh God.
Oh, no.
At the end of the night, I go and I thank them graciously for busting each and every eardrum at the party, one by one. And the two people are so gracious. And then the one guy, okay, so I'm wearing a ridiculous outfit. I got like this tropical Brazilian, I called it unisex, but it was in the women's section. I was dressed like a freak. And so the man who played the steel drum said, he was laughing. He was like, "You're so rich, you don't even take your pajamas off for the party."
Wow.
And I gave him a laugh, like, yeah, it's pretty wild. And I start trying to leave, and he says it again. The exact same phrase.
This is tense.
It's starting to turn. It's like that moment in the movie where you're like, I'm in danger. And he starts following me, and he's laughing like a fucking madman. And he says it again. He says that same phrase 4 times, picks up a tennis ball, and slams it down and catches it. As I close the door to the home, and I'm like, babe, the man is a maniac. We must protect our children.
Oh my God, you pissed off the steel drum guy? The nice surprise?
It's
surprise for Marissa.
It's off-brand for what you'd expect a steel drummer, like the kind of like vibe, mellow, easygoing, celebratory instrument of the steel drum.
He was gonna drum you. It sounded like he was
gonna treat your head like a steel drum.
Yeah, it was like one of those cartoons. I was turning into a steel drum.
That aside, though, it was a great night.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on that absolutely insane and weird moment. It was really fun. It was fun.
It sounds like you were a heartbeat away from being funny games. Like,
yes,
you almost had a funny games going on in your home.
Yeah,
I
that
was
that
thinking of the movie Elysium or something with Matt Damon, where like all the wealthy people. Like,
Oh, right.
I was like, am I one of those people, and I deserve to be steel drummed? I don't know.